A newly announced proposal from President Trump could reshape how Americans invest for retirement. The White House is considering an executive order that may let 401ks and IRAs include new kinds of assets. Things like crypto, gold, private equity, and maybe even infrastructure. And for retirees and people close to retirement, that could mean new opportunities for diversification, but also new layers of complexity and risk. So today, we're going to break down what's in the proposal, why it matters, and what steps you could take to protect your retirement confidence, no matter how the rules changed. Because under the proposed order, agencies like the Department of Labor and the SEC would study whether to loosen current rules that limit most retirement plans to traditional stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. And if approved, the plan sponsors could someday offer things like cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin or Ethereum, precious metals including gold, private equity and venture capital funds, maybe even infrastructure or real estate investments, giving you a myriad of choices when it comes to your retirement planning. And it's part of a broader push to modernize retirement investing to expand access to alternative assets inside tax advantage accounts. But the proposal? It also includes fiduciary safe harbors, protections, legal guardrails designed to reduce plan sponsors' liabilities, because these complex assets could potentially be included. And implementation will take some time. This order would only start a regulatory review. It's not going to be an immediate change because Americans currently hold over $9 trillion in 401ks. That's why this discussion matters. There's some potential upsides, more diversification beyond stocks and bonds, higher possible long-term returns, and exposure to new asset classes. But there are also some potential downsides too, like volatility. Crypto and private equity can swing sharply in value if you've ever paid attention. Higher fees and less transparency. That's not really fun for anyone. Or liquidity risk. Money can be tied up for years, not giving you the ability to spend. You just watch your assets grow. So for retirees, the goal usually shifts from growth to income and stability. Alternative assets may not fit every stage of retirement, and understanding those risks is essential before making any changes. This isn't the first time private equity has been discussed for retirement plans. Since 2020, regulators have allowed limited access, but only inside diversified investment funds managed by professionals. So here's what you need to know. Private equity can offer higher returns, but with higher costs. Fees and transparency are going to be a concern as well. And most investors don't fully understand how these assets differ from the public markets. So fiduciaries must carefully vet any new options they provide. So while this sounds exciting, it's really important to remember these opportunities come with trade-offs, and retirees must still balance risk, liquidity, and taxes to protect income longevity. Even if signed, this order won't change your 401k overnight. It's just going to launch a new regulatory review, and agencies are going to study the feasibility, the safety, and the overall inclusion rules. So expect a process of months or even years before anything reaches your investment lineup. And during that time, regulators will evaluate fiduciary duties and participant protections. They'll also evaluate how new investments interact with employer matches or auto enrollment. And last but certainly not least, how these changes affect older workers nearing or already in retirement. In short, there's no need to rush, but there's a reason to stay informed. At Retirement Capital, our focus is simple: to help you make confident, informed decisions that protect your lifestyle. So while we don't provide advice on speculative assets like crypto or private equity, we do help our clients understand how policy changes could impact their strategies, their income plans, and their overall risk exposure. So whether these rules pass or not, they highlight a growing theme. Americans want more control and freedom in how they invest. But freedom should always be paired with fiduciary guidance and sound planning. And at Retirement Capital, we help retirees look at the full picture and the 5 freedoms of retirement: income, investments, taxes, legacy, and healthcare. So your plan remains balanced no matter what Washington decides. So you're probably thinking, What should you do right now? Stay curious, stay cautious, and keep your focus on the long term. These proposals may open new doors, but they also bring new risks. So if you're wondering how this could affect your portfolio, your taxes, or your retirement income strategy, let's talk through it together. At Retirement Capital, we believe retirement should be about freedom, not fear. And that means building clarity through education and personalized planning. Book a connection conversation today